music is not asking for attention, it gently takes it. It doesn't need an introduction, but it requires an investigation. Because right here on the page is the name we used to believe without hesitation, Sicilienne by Maria Theresia von Paradis. For a long time we wanted it to be hers, because Paradis wasn't a myth. She was a real person who thought her name into musical world. Blind from the childhood, she became well known as a famous pianist and composer, not as a curiosity. She studied with the best, including famous Antonio Salieri, a very talented composer who was rumored to be a nemesis of Mozart. Paradis performed everywhere she could. In public concerts, she traveled abroad all across Europe. She performed in London, in Paris, and everywhere she performed, she made a lasting impression. And what I love about her is that her personality was so inspiring that Haydn and Mozart composed some of their piano concerti with Paradis in mind. And later, when she stepped back from the concert stage, she put her energy into founding of School for Girls, a music school which gave little girls a chance to succeed in very difficult world. This is why when we heard Sicilienne, it seems to be the perfect ending of her story. A small charming piece that kept her name alive in hands of musicians all over the world. But all in a sudden, news came that after thorough research, now it is believed that Sicilienne is not composed by Paradis, but linked instead to the name of the 20th century violinist named Samuel Dushkin. And if you think about that, it makes sense. Because Dushkin wasn't some obscure violinist. He was actually the top-tier performer, because he worked with the famous Russian composer Igor Stravinsky. And Dushkin didn't just work with Stravinsky, he premiered his violin concerto in 1931 with Stravinsky conducting. And in addition to that, he owned several wonderful Italian instruments. And after his death in 1976, two of those violins, by Stradivari and Guarneri del Cesso, were named in honor of Samuel Dushkin. And so, if someone like that introduces a piece of music to the world, nobody asks questions. Never mind that the original manuscript was never shown. And then all of a sudden another twist occurred, because the British music encyclopedia Grove found that Sicilienne is linked to one of the movements of violin sonata by Weber. So the story might not be just the wrong name. It might actually be a piece like an illusion. Older musical DNA reshaped into something which feels antique, then released into the world wearing the most believable signature. And there is a wild part. This melody didn't just survive this controversy, it outgrew it. In 2018, it was featured at the royal wedding and was masterfully performed by Sheku Kenneth Mason. It was loved by people all over the world, despite the fact that its authorship was questioned. Does this mystery make this piece even richer? Or does it bother you because you want the name of the piece to be the final truth? Let your opinion to be known in comments, so we can have an interesting discussion about that. And before I will share my performance with you, consider subscribing to Cellopedia, because I'm going to make many more videos like this, and I would be honored for you to be the part of this project. And now it's time for music to sound.